So, it's the day after tomorrow, so to speak. Tulsi Gabbard decided, well, she hasn't decided, but she's thinking about boycotting the Democratic primary debates. And of course, we finally had a full 24 hours for everybody to drop their opinion. And so, now it's time to drop mine. All right, so Tulsi Gabbard still hasn't made her final decision, but of course, you all know that she has announced that she's thinking about boycotting the debate. And I am going to say whether or not I think it's a good idea. Um, but first, I think it's important to talk about what this entire thing, like what is she doing this for? I've heard people say stuff like, "Well, I donated my money to get her on that debate stage." Is that why you donated your money? Only to get her on the debate stage? I've heard some people say if she does it, she ends her campaign. Okay. Um, it's a really weird sentiment considering she literally just missed the debate and actually rose in the polls across the board. Um, she's just doing this for attention. Perhaps that's, maybe it is a good PR strategy. Maybe, I don't know. But I want to address the main thing first, which is, why is she doing this? What is the purpose? And unfortunately, in my humble opinion, it's the same thing that isn't, it's the one thing that isn't being discussed. Tulsi Gabbard is saying this DNC process is rigged. There have been a lot of voters in the early primary states specifically who take this process very seriously and feel like their voices are once again being robbed from them. Why is that not the main topic of discussion? Which I find ironic, by the way, considering how many people oftentimes question her integrity, oftentimes question her morality, say that she's selfish. Tulsi is one of those people who constantly thinks of things in context, like a grander context. See, Tulsi made the debate stage this time, although she was disqualified from the last debate. And yeah, that's great for her. And maybe some people would rather her defend the DNC, you know, but that's not who she is. Because although she made the debate stage this time, you know who was kept off the first debate, even though he qualified for it? Mike Gravel. He was cheated in an intransparent process. Marianne Williamson, who made the donor threshold, is still being kept off the debate because of the arbitrary nature of the polling selection for the DNC. So what, we just forget that two candidates who, by objective measures, seem like they should have at least had a voice on that stage? Do we just forget about them? Do we pretend like democracy wasn't failed? Because our candidate, for me, my chosen candidate, is on the debate stage. If you're a Bernie supporter, your chosen and preferred candidate's on the debate stage. We just forget that now, right? Do we forget that in 2015, 2016, my voice, your voice, was taken away from us? And our candidate was anointed with their candidate, not ours, their candidate was anointed with absolutely no accountability. And we're supposed to pretend like it's going to change? For what? What incentive has there been for the DNC to change? Oh, they lost a couple of elections. Has that affected their behavior really at all? They altered the process in a minor way by removing superdelegates out of the first round, but not the second round. But they still control who the vice president could be, because the superdelegates can vote for the vice president in the first round. 2, it's only the first round. And so what they decided to do instead was run every candidate they could think of under the sun to dilute the vote and make it go to a second round where the superdelegates can pick. Why are we so obsessed right now? It's like people are obsessed with this idea of who's winning and who's losing. What is the point of all this? How are we going to get Medicare for all in a rigged election process? Not only at this level, Tiffany Caban just had her election taken away from her at the DA level in New York. Tim Canova has been robbed twice. Cynthia Nixon robbed in New York City. Maria Estrada robbed in Southern California. The list goes on, people. So the discussion surrounding whether or not she should do it, in my humble opinion, is secondary. The message that this process is clearly rigged is the only quote unquote important message. Because no matter how much I like Tulsi, how much you like Bernie, how much someone else might like Marianne Williamson, or so how much somebody else might like Andrew Yang, if we don't address the rigged process, then there's nothing else to be discussed. UBI doesn't happen. Medicare for all doesn't happen. And the regime change wars does not happen. Now, as far as the argument that has been made, well, she should go on the debate stage and say this. Okay. Do y'all know she told the world, the first debate, that we fund international terrorism? How much did that get talked about? Because that wasn't where the drama was. The drama is attacking someone else. Y'all forgot probably that she said that. She literally told the world we're funding international terrorism. She said it. Nobody cared. Didn't blink an eye. Because that's not what the story was. She got drowned out. Funny enough, she got drowned out by her own exchange with Tim Ryan. But nonetheless, because of the drama of engaging with somebody else, the real point she was trying to make for that entire thing was drowned out. You know, Bernie Sanders, in the most recent debate, called out the fact that there are a bunch of big donors donating to this CNN, MSNBC debate. Guess what? How much airtime did that get after he said it? Not much. How many people do you think cared about that? We did. Yeah, we're grassroots. We're independent. We're progressive. Cool. The average person didn't even get a chance to process it because it was a fleeting moment. Because that's how the debates are set up. That's so that you cannot have substantive discussion. Now, let's think about what Tulsi just did. Tulsi could go on the debate stage, get a total of 2 minutes to speak, spending 1 minute and 30 seconds of that dismantling smears about her. Maybe spending 30 seconds to call it the DNC, where people say, yeah, we want a fair process, yay. And then she moves on, and then they forget about it. And whoever got into the fight that night, that's the hot take, all for social media and for mainstream to cover. However, you preempt the debate. You preempt the rigging. You preempt the shit show that is going to be the Democratic primary debate by saying this process is rigged. Not only just for myself, yeah, I made it, but that doesn't take away the rigging that happened before this. And all of a sudden, your video gets 1.3 million views. Well, she hit 1 million views in like 4 hours on Twitter, a couple of 100,000 on YouTube. Every mainstream headline is talking about it. She just was on The Hill this morning. She's supposed to be going on a few more stations by the end of this weekend. And for the next 4 or 5 days, the news cycle is going to be about Tulsi Gabbard, where she gets to now have the conversation about the rigged process that I thought we were all in agreement. I thought all of us were in agreement. The process is indeed rigged. But now, because my candidate is on the stage now, she's made the stage, I'm supposed to forget about the fact that Marianne Williamson was cheated off the stage. I'm supposed to forget about the fact that Mike Gravel was cheated off the stage. I'm supposed to forget about DNC rigging as long as it gets my candidate on stage. And I'm also supposed to forget about the fact that, oh yeah, Everybody else has tried the calling out the corruption thing. That's already the popular topic on stage. Like, that's what they're all trying to pretend. What has that led to? Nothing. They want the drama. It is WWE. Now, there's an argument to be made, and I'm sure that she's honestly considering it. A lot of people donated her to get her on that debate stage. But my question to you would be, what did you get her on the debate stage for? To increase awareness of her campaign, right? I would imagine. To show that she had the grassroots support and the message for all the world to see. And that everybody would appreciate that message once they actually got to hear it. Now, my question to you is, I just explained to you, right? All over the news cycle, headlines, trending on Twitter, 1 million, millions of views. Everybody talking about it. Everybody doing videos about it. She's going to be doing these interviews. She already hit the Hill. She's probably going to hit Tucker Carlson. She's probably going to end up on MSNBC and CNN at some point. Well, not CNN. Probably MSNBC, though. And a few other sources. Question, do you think she'll get more time to expound upon her message in the next 4 to 5 days after making that announcement? Or will she get more time on that debate stage to be drowned out? What would be more effective? Where will she get the most time to talk about the message that you donated to her to support? Your goals have been achieved. That's why you donated to her, because she does things like this. If she was politically calculating, it would be wise to ignore what happened to Marianne Williamson and Mike Gravel. It would be wise to ignore the voters who have constantly expressed to her they're tired of having the process rigged against them and having their voices silenced. Yes, politically calculating. That is political calculations and conventionality. That is absolutely what helped us win the election in 2015 and 2016. Oh, that's right. We didn't win the election in 2015, 2016. That's right. I forgot. We didn't. Political calculation and conventionality is exactly how Tulsi has done so well so far. Because when everybody else was protecting Kamala, ignoring Kamala, she did what? When everyone else was pretending that they care so much about 9/11 and Afghanistan and terrorism, Tulsi exposed the fact that we were funding it. When everyone else is cheering on regime change in one form or another, whether it be directly or manufacturing consent for it, Tulsi separated herself. The unconventionality of Tulsi's campaign is exactly why she is where she is right now. Everyone, I feel like at this point it should be common sense, right? This is what have we learned when it comes to social media culture, when it comes to mainstream culture? The moment everyone tells you to look right, you might want to look left. When everyone tells you to walk down this path, this is a safe path, people. You have to take the safe path. If you don't, your campaign's over. Bernie don't give free college. Your campaign will ain't no call you a socialist. Don't even call yourself a Democratic socialist. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give a whole speech talking about why Democratic socialism is great. That's what he did. He doubled down. Tulsi may have legitimate issues that could be problems for her campaign later on down the line. Maybe. This isn't it. She missed the debates. You forgot. She missed the debates and went up in the polls. She missed the debate and was the fourth most Googled candidate during the debate. You think that her not going to this debate, literally nobody except for Andrew Yang came out of that debate in better shape. They were all looking tired and ridiculous. Cory Booker was supposedly one of the standouts during that debate, the last one. And he ended up having to beg for money after. So what's more important to you? We've been begging for this. Someone please use your platform to make a final stand and call out election fraud. Because I'm tired of the vapid promises that it can't happen. We don't have an election. We don't have a legitimate election system. We finally have somebody do it, and now everyone is all of a sudden, well, no, she can't win if she doesn't go. I don't know if y'all noticed. She can't win if election fraud is rampant. What do you mean? She can't win either way by your logic. But you gotta take a stand for something. If not election integrity, then what are you gonna stand for? If not election integrity, what are we fighting for? If not election integrity, what is the democratic process about? If we don't have election integrity, the elections are a farce, and all we have is illusion of choice, nothing more. That's my 2 cents. Love to know what your thoughts are about this. Like, comment, share the video, and always remember, more than anything else, people, find your balance. Peace. Hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like that segment of Mikasa Sukasa. Also, you can help us upgrade the studio and take this show on the road to cover the on-the-ground politics that you love by clicking on that GoFundMe link in the description and donating literally anything. Anything helps. Also, you can follow us on Rockfin, on Twitter, and on Facebook as well. And hey, more than anything else, people, always remember, find your balance. Peace.